Good morning. Welcome to day 29 in our Art of Allowing challenge. And today it's about giving up. And if you're honest, if we're being transparent, at some point we've all wanted to give up. Some of us more often than others. But giving up it's a human response, and you see it in children. It's one of those childlike features that we shouldn't try to incorporate in our lives. Giving up is very different than allowing. And someone asked me when I shared with them our allowing challenge, and they said, that's just giving up. And there's a big distinction that I'd like to make today. And so today we're going to talk about the difference between giving up and allowing, and why allowing is so much more powerful. Because when you look at it, they look like the same thing because they both involve letting go. But what you're actually letting go of is very different. When you give up on something, you're letting go of everything. You're letting go of the goal. You're letting go of the motivation, the energy that you put into it. But when you allow, all you're doing is letting go of your need to control how things happen. Your need to control the outcome. Giving up is saying, I trusted myself. It could even be saying, I trusted God. Letting go is saying, I'm trusting God. I have trusted myself. I've trusted my capability. I've trusted others. It didn't work. I'm giving full trust to God. And sometimes some people have a hard time doing this because they think they've trusted God. But I think we haven't always allowed the circumstances to play out to the end. Giving up is surrender. It's surrendering the mission. It's surrendering the thing that you said you were going to do, the marriage, the business. Allowing is, again, surrendering the control. When you give up, the one thing that you stop doing is moving. You stop doing the thing that you're supposed to do. Effort stops. But allowing, you continue to move. A person who's given up, they say, what's the point? Why am I doing this? But a person who is allowing says, I may not feel like doing this, but because I trust, I'm going to faithfully take the next step and move towards the direction that I've been given. Giving up comes a lot of times when we're discouraged, when we feel like this is it, when there's no hope. I've tried, it's not working. Maybe this isn't for me. And allowing is rooted in trust. And I don't know how this will unfold, but I know my responsibility is today's stewardship. I don't know how this is going to end, but I know I got to show up today. And giving up is almost a sense of abandonment. You're leaving your responsibility. But allowing, it's the opposite. You embrace that responsibility, but all you're doing is releasing the attachment to the outcome. And we've talked about this throughout the month. Noah, he still built the ark. Abraham, he still left his homeland. He still moved. Joseph, while he was in prison, he may have been discouraged, but he never gave up. And none of them sat back and became passive. None of them sat back and said, oh, God's got this. They were active participants while they released their control over the results, over the outcomes, over the people. And in business, if you're in business and you're listening to this, this might apply to you if you're going through a season or a moment where your sales are slow. Giving up is saying, I'm done. This business is not working for me. I need to go find something else. And I've been there. I've had those thoughts. And what typically happens is you start to slash your prices. you panic, and then you chase every opportunity out of fear. Allowing is acknowledging what's going on today, acknowledging what you can do. You can improve the product, you can follow up with customers, you can make sales calls, and you can trust the results will come in the due season. And on the outside, the actions may look different, may look similar, but the inner posture, how you feel inside, how you carry yourself inside, is completely different. One is driven by faith, the other is driven by fear. Essentially, giving up is letting go of your purpose, and allowing is letting go of your insistence on how your purpose must unfold. In other words, giving up is just quitting, and allowing is moving on. And that's why, again, allowing is not a passive state. Allowing is not just sitting there and doing nothing. It's actually one of the most active states, the most active postures that you can have. Doing everything that is yours to do today while refusing to be ruled by fear, by doubt. And so today, I want to encourage everyone, keep moving. You've spent almost a month listening, learning, and allowing instead of controlling, trusting instead of striving, recognizing instead of searching. And you spent this time maybe in and out of alignment. And it's easy for you to look around for some of you and say, well, nothing has changed. And this is when people quit right before they would have seen the fruit. I've been there. I've done the program for 30 days, 60 days, didn't see any visible result. And right then when I was about to quit, it turned around. You have to faithfully persist without being attached to what's going to happen. Just keep doing the thing that God has told you, has shown you to do. Most times the growth is not going to be visible. It's going to show up when you least expect it. When you plant the seed, there's a lot happening underground and you don't see it. You don't know. So today, if you are tempted to quit, if you are tempted to give up, the question I have for you is, are you measuring God's faithfulness by the visible results that you see? And what if everything that you've been doing is producing some roots underneath the surface? You've been working out for 30 days and you don't see any results. The scale stays the same. You've been changing your business processes. You've been going out, having meetings, door to door, knocking on doors, and no results. Sometimes nothing seems to be happening because everything important is happening where you can't see it. The root system is the most important part of the plant. It anchors it. And right now, maybe you're just building faith. Maybe you're building your root system by going through all of these challenges. Maybe you're developing structure through the rejection. Maybe you're developing the faith, the strength, the patience. Maybe this season is a moment of clarity for you to see things differently. And every time the doors are being shut, it's one step closer to an open door of enlightenment, an open door of opportunity. I want you to choose one area in your life where you've wanted to give up, where you've had the thought, your business, your relationship, your marriage, your finances, your health, your faith, and your calling. Just take one step today without looking for any type of evidence. What's one thing you can do today? One way you can show Sometimes we get caught up in the trap especially living in today's society where everything is just instant. Everything is almost like microwave ready. But as a faithful person, as a person that's moved by spirit and not by sight, we don't need results to be immediate, to be anchored to our faith. We understand the seasons, we understand the seeds, we understand the laws of growth, that when you plant something, it's still growing even when you can't see it. Our job is to water it. Our job is to take care of it, protect it. So today, let's choose the consistency of being present, the consistency of action that has been inspired, that has been led by God, over emotion. Let's trust the process that God is unfolding through us, through our business, through our spouse, through our relationship, through our calling. Let's not give up 5 minutes before the breakthrough. We got one more day in this 30-day challenge. And it's actually one more day to the beginning of a new 30-day challenge. But today, let's take a moment and examine those areas where we think life is toughest. And don't give up now. But we can allow from a state of peace, from a state of joy. And that joy is a joyous anticipation for God's best.